Well, fellow travelers, update 3.63 is finally upon us. Yeah, it's out on Steam right now and it should follow up soon on the consoles as well. And guess what? It finally fixes the spawn rate of your settlement events. Been talking about this in yesterday's video, but also there's a lot of incoming fixes and changes with the new update 3.63, so we're gonna talk about that, as well as the fact that I kinda reached the limits of settlement building. Like literally, I cannot build any new projects even though there is one waiting for me right now. So I think that there is a hard cap at the amount of buildings you can create for the settlement, so I will also showcase that in this video. But let's jump right into it, starting things off with the settlement changes, and there's a couple of them to the NPC behaviors. So the first one, the number of glitches with settlement NPC navigations have been fixed, and another one, an issue that could cause settlement NPCs to go outside during danger scenarios like storms or sentinel raids. Now I did pay a little bit of attention to NPC behaviors in the new update, and yes, it is true, they are fixed a little bit. They still occasionally, kind of bump into walls or maybe just stop momentarily in front of a literal wall, just contemplating life, I guess, but then they kind of go away and the pathing is a little bit better. They also seem to interact quite a bit, and I also noticed for the first time ever NPCs literally interacting with environments. Like they will go to a saloon and they will start dancing, which is really awesome. Actually, scratch that, in the case of my gags, this is super cute, so I had to bust some moves because I mean, there was a party and we were having so much fun. It's really nice to see some of these details when you get caught up in building settlements so much. But the new update introduces a number of other significant fixes to the settlements, especially to some of the problems that were causing patches of foliage to be cleared out in settlements before any buildings had even been placed. They've also improved the loading speed of settlements and introduced a significant number of other optimizations for settlements. So now when you load in the game or when you approach a settlement from the distance, especially one that is like a little bit more upgraded, you should not see that much pop in as before. This is also a bit dependent on your system, but overall there's some improvements in there as well. They've also fixed finally the issue with the events, and we have official confirmation how these are supposed to spawn. So they faced the issue that could cause some settlements to fail to generate any decisions for their overseer, and decisions are now expected at intervals of 15 minutes to 2 hours. So we weren't that far off from the timer when we covered it in yesterday's video. I was expecting it like half an hour to 2 hours, but it's as low as 15 minutes, which is pretty low. Like that is really good. And so much so, in fact, that I fully maxed out the settlement. So this kind of brought up a new problem that I'm not sure if it's intended or if Hello Games will eventually fix it, because I ran out of space. Well, not literally space to build stuff, but I ran out of space in my overseer decision terminal, because now if I were to go in and approve my latest project, it gives me this error right here. So it might be a bit difficult to spot it up, but essentially whenever I try to approve this, whatever project it is, it kind of immediately throws me out of that and it puts me back into the main menu, or it throws me out of the thing completely. So I can't really do anything, but I did manage to make a pause right here, and it doesn't even give me anything from the looks of it. I think that this is just an error screen and it should be replaced with maybe settlement limits reached or no more projects, or maybe something that Hello Games might still add on top. I'm not sure. Like there's stat references here like happy, unproductive, pricey, also I think debuff with the red over there, sentinel attention, I guess. So I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be, if this is an oversight, if there is a hard cap on the number of buildings you can create in the settlement, or if just, something that eventually will reach that limit. Hopefully not, because there's still a lot of room in my settlement area to build other buildings. Now I do want to go over the entire settlement, how it looks like now compared to yesterday, since I approved so many projects. Last of the projects, like I think 5 to 10 projects I approved when it comes to constructions, are building buildings of this size. I think they are called power generation room. They kind of look something like this, so they're a bit smaller one by one, and occasionally they might be different, like you might see something like a tent or one of these like power barrel thingies or whatever they are, and a few more on top scattered around my base as well. So overall, this is how the overview is. I think I've approved a number of these landing pads, like 3 in total that you can see. Also, the smaller buildings around the settlement are the last ones that I was able to approve. No more big settlements. I think that the final big settlement I was able to approve was this saloon right here. And that was pretty much it. Actually, scratch that. I think it was in fact this tower right here. That was the last big building I was able to approve, and that was kind of it. So yeah, hopefully there's gonna be more to base building, or hopefully there's gonna be a lot more to it. Also, in terms of stats, my stats kind of dropped a little bit from the max rank yesterday to B again, but that's because I've approved another production kind of, you know, project. So that removed some of the happiness, which downgraded me to B again. I have never been able to even reach A, but I'm gonna just start a completely different settlement with a different save file anyway. Now, on top of this, there's a number of other changes and fixes in the new update. So they've added a recovery for players who lost their primary multi-tool after accepting a blank tool from an upgrade/purchase UI. Note, the appearance of this erroneous UI screen was fixed in patch 3.62. Let me know down below in the comment section if you still have this problem, if in case it happened to you, what type of multi-tool I have for you. This luckily enough didn't happen for me, but I do know there's a number of people who did encounter this. They've also fixed an issue that caused electrical cloaking units to work incorrectly. They fixed physics issue that could cause players to get snagged while moving around the space anomaly, and fixed the PlayStation 5 specific issue that could cause some trophies to fail to unlock. And that snagging issue definitely happened to me, and not really to my character, but more to my ship that got thrown away by another ship for some reason. There's many other patch notes, so I'm just gonna go over these quickly. They fixed an issue that caused the bug-only base parts to appear in the catalog. They fixed a number of snapping issue when placing fireplace on NPC terminals to large rooms. While base building, the rotation option now has acceleration to allow faster turning while retaining detailed control. So it's a small little twist in there, just a small little change. You will definitely notice it, but it still gives you defined control over the movement. So really welcome change. They've also fixed a number of issues that could cause power lines to fail to appear. They fixed an issue that allowed players to place an unlimited number of special parts, such as exocraft geobase, within close proximity of each other. Fixed a rare issue that could cause several visual glitches when pushing the building and photo mode camera into a very specific situation. Fixed an issue that caused T-shaped corridors, this is a big one by the way, to become blocked when snapped to other structures. I all of a sudden kind of woken up with one of my bases having T-shaped corridors not working anymore, and other corridor related issues that completely ruined my base, among others in there that I will just leave down below. Anyway, this is it with the recent changes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.